Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to take a look at a new plastic Phoenix Lord. Oh my god. Admittedly, this is a couple of days late. Monday was the Dread Mob video, which was massively long, and I'd lost my voice over the weekend, so why I decided to do a near, like a 40-minute long video the day I got my voice back, I don't know, that was ridiculous, and I suffered for it because I was ill yesterday, so my own stupid fault, but we're getting there in the end. It's happening, it's fine, don't worry about it. So, we're going to take a look at the new Jain Zar. And there's a few things that I like about this. I've already taken a look, there's a few things that I like, and we're going to do a little comparison between the new one and the old one, just because I think there's a few things worth noting. So, let's have a look. As the Psychic Awakening approaches, we're ramping up the excitement with another part of the Phoenix Surprising Prophecy and a new plastic Phoenix Lord. Alright, let's do the prophecy bit first. So, the prophecy continues. It's going well so far, the prophecy. Nothing to worry about, obviously. There are amongst us those who say through death can be found salvation. That's a difficult sentence. They claim to want nothing more than to unite the scattered Eldari race, bringing the children of Azuran, Shegarach, and even the Living Muse into close accord under the same black banner. Their philosophy is so volatile, its manifestation so terrifying, that they have brought as much strife as they have harmony. Yeah, can't disagree with you there. So, Yoloku? Look, I write some ridiculous names for my D&D NPCs, but even I have never written Yoloku. Yeah. Shay, it must be fun at parties. Anyway. So, more doom and gloom. Not happy. We get the picture at this point with Psychic Awakening. Things are not great, is what it boils down to. I think the whole prophecy can be... Things are messed up, yo. That should be the whole thing. So, let's have a look at the little cinematic-y video first. Okay, so she's going to show up in October. Excellent. And let's have a look at the model itself. So yeah, it's Jain Zar, Phoenix Lord of the Howling Banshees, and I quite like the model. I'll just, I know you're not surprised. I'm just happy for a start that Xenos are getting stuff. It comes with the Blade of Destruction and the Triskel. Look, it's not a good day for pronouncing stuff. Silent Death, it's called. That's easier to remember. Okay, so there's a few things that I really like about this. For a start, if we take a look at the older one, there is a nice continuation there. There is a very nice continuation there, in the form of the pose, also in the form of the insane long hair. I mean, let's be honest, they could have dialed it down. They could have toned it down. They could have gone, alright, that was maybe the hair was a bit 90s, maybe it was a bit ambitious, maybe it was a bit over the top. They could have scaled it back, still made it long, but kind of reduced the overall presence. They haven't done that. They've once again struck like a very good balance between keeping all the stuff that is like signature to the model from the old one and transferred it onto the new one. I mean, if you look at it, even the pose is pretty damn similar. They've kept it faithful again. This is the thing that I'm liking about this, about these new models, about like the Dark Eldar stuff and the Eldar stuff so far, is yes, they are a bit different, but they're not a bit different in terms of changing fundamental parts of the model. They're a bit different because they've been updated. Certain things have been exaggerated slightly more, other things have been toned down slightly just to strike essentially a more up-to-date balance. You still have the outstretched spear, you still have Silent Death waiting to be thrown. I've given up trying to pronounce the name of that weapon. You still got the absolutely mental hair. Let's be honest, the hair is mad. It was mad when it was that, and it's still mad now, but it at least looks... I mean, it looks infinitely better there, to be totally honest. But the important thing is that it's still there. They've kept all of that stuff. They've kept, like, the... It sounds weird to say, it feels like they've kept the soul of the model intact and updated everything else. It is just an updated, more highly detailed reimagining of something, but they haven't gone around changing every little thing. They haven't switched stuff out that didn't need to be switched. They haven't, like, faffed around with... They haven't even faffed around with the pose particularly. They've just made it look a bit better. I mean, that to me looks more in motion and more graceful than the old one by quite a bit. The old one was supposed to look graceful and in motion, and at the time, to be fair, I think it probably did fulfill that, especially compared to some of the, like, much more static models of that era. But it's not aged well, and the weird combination of silhouettes between the leg and the hair and the wavy cloth kind of connecting to the foot kind of gave it this really odd, almost clunky feel. You still have all of those elements in the new one, except it's spaced so much better and it's made so much less cluttered. I think even if you... I mean, we saw the model rotate in the video. It doesn't look like there's that confusing, overlapping, kind of weird section of shapes on the lower part of the model anymore. Instead, you've got the ludicrous hair acting as something to hold the model up. But to be honest, my first thought when I saw it was a little bit that, it kind of looks like the hair is supporting her. Now, obviously, the hair is supporting her, model-wise, but actually, taking a good look at it, to me, that more looks like essentially leaping back, and the hair being caught on the little bit of Eldar ruin down there, which, as a way to keep the model high, but still kind of posed as though it's doing something, I think is a good compromise. And I think, to be honest, it'd be very much in danger of having the hair just look... I don't know, I think it needs to be part of the pose. I think it needs to be something that is, like, doing the job it's doing, actually supporting the model higher up. Otherwise, it would look kind of out of place. It would look as though it's just there to get in the way. Doing it this way, it's still there, it's still front and centre, you cannot miss it, but it also, in a weird way, keeps it out of the way of the model as a whole, because it's acting as the support. I feel like it's kind of keeping it nicely in the background as opposed to being the thing that you focus on. I mean, looking at her, I'm not focusing on the hair. I'm focusing on the spear, I'm focusing on silent death, I like the contrast between the different pieces of armour. Like, I'm not really properly staring at the hair in the room, to be honest. I think they've done a decent job again. I think the thing that I'm really liking, as I say, the thing I'm liking so much about these updates is that they are updates. They're not fundamentally changing stuff. They're not ruining the lines. They're not ruining the personality. They're just bringing the models up to scratch, which is exactly what like, I know that in a way what I want doesn't matter so much. I don't have an Eldar army, so what I want is kind of irrelevant in a way. But the Aspect Warriors and the Dark Eldar range, the Aspect Warriors and the Dark Eldar range, especially the Dark Eldar range, there is probably not even a bad model in there, really. They don't need fundamental redesigns. So it makes me happy that they're not getting fundamental redesigns. They're getting faithful updates, which is exactly what I want to see. I want that same personality that they've had. Don't want that removed for the sake of making something that's, festooned with little trinkets, and it'd be so easy to make them over the top, and they're not doing that. I just like the way they're going about it. I really do. Okay, so, on the battlefield, Jain Zar fights even more aggressively than before, if such a thing is possible for Kane's most prolific Blade Maiden. What a title that is. Swapping her old disarming strike ability for a more thoroughly slaughterous replacement, the Storm of Silence. When this model is picked to fight, instead of using its attacks characteristic, you can instead make a number of attacks equal to the number of enemy models within 2 inches of it after any pile-in moves have been made. Yeah, So Jain Zar is now officially a blender. just throw her at a big bunch of lads and watch her beat the shit out of them, pretty much. Yeah, I do quite like that. That's fun. That's a fun ability. I mean, you could really mess up someone's day doing that. Fun. Yeah. So that is the latest bit of Psychic Awakening, and it is a redesigned Jain Zar. And I just think they've done a really good job with it again. I'm looking forward to seeing the next one. The next one will be, I think, next week. I think they're only doing one of these a week, which I'd like to see a little. I'd like to see them put this stuff out a little more regularly. I think it's in danger of becoming stale if they're not careful. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm assuming the next thing to be revealed will be Drazar, because we've had the Howling Banshees revealed, we've had the Incubi revealed, we've had Jain Zar revealed now. I'm assuming the next one will be Drazar, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Because again, that's a model that it's aged, but I don't think it looks terrible. I just think it needs, like so much of the other Xenos stuff, just a faithful update. So yeah, I've got high hopes for that one. I'll be interested to see what they do with it. So there you go. That is Jain Zar, an actual plastic Phoenix Lord. It's happening. The Xenos, the time of the Xenos might actually be here. I know you've waited a while, let's be honest. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of all of that in the comments down below. Do you like the redesign? Do you think it is good? Or is it a bit too over the top? Should they have kept the hair maybe a little bit shorter? Or do you like the excessive amount of that big red mane? What's going on right there? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games. If you click it and buy stuff, I get a little something for sending you that way. And it's a nice way to support the channel because it requires no extra effort. You're buying stuff that you would normally buy because just like everyone else around here, you are addicted to the plastic crack. And you save between 15 and 25% off whatever it is that you buy. And it's not just 40k, it's Age of Sigmar, paints, Bolt Action, X-Wing. What's that other one? War Machine, Warmer Hordes, pretty much any tabletop thing. The amount of stock is ludicrous. So, yeah, you can do that if you'd like. If not, no problem. I leave it in your capable hands. I'll see you for the next one. Toodaloo.